Anybody that saw my Chasing Strippers video a few months ago would know that I've been looking at minimalist motoring, and at the moment I'm in something that is even more minimal than the Barina CD to a certain extent. Now, this one doesn't have an integrated infotainment system as such, but it does have a GPS on the dash. This is a Fiat Panda Pop. So this is the bottom of the line, 5-speed manual, 1.2 petrol engine with a staggering 63 kilowatts. And it doesn't have a few things like cruise control, seats are all manual, technically doesn't have a glove box. It's just got a glove shelf. Actually, it's got two glove shelves, an upper and a lower, just in case you have a lot of gloves. And it really makes you focus on the functions that you really need, the actual practical functions that you need day to day. So what are the key functions that you need in your car? This one has, for me, very minimal accommodation. In fact, when I take my foot off, my shin hits the center dash here, and I've got to sort of kink my foot around to the left to get to the foot pedal rest, which is actually an indent into the side of the center console. So it's actually quite crowded for me. For somebody who's a bit smaller, they probably find this quite agreeable. 5-speed gearbox, the gear shift is very easy. It sits up very high, so it's very easy to access. There's not a lot going on under the bonnet, but it is a smooth, easy to operate engine, and it's got a 6,500 RPM redline. I never get anywhere near it. Never get anywhere near it. Once I got to about 5,000, I just went, no, forget that noise. But you can drive this around town really easily between, sort of under 3,000 RPM, and that's one of the key points. It's got very good fuel efficiency as well. Like, we'll have a look at our little trip computer here. And for today's trip, which has been a lot of city bashing around, we've got an average of 7.1 litres per 100 k's. And you may not think that's particularly impressive for a vehicle of this size and a little 1.2, but most of it has been trawling around trying to get Christmas traffic parking sorted, and it's just basically sitting still and doing nothing. It's a bit difficult to get a real good level of confidence sitting on the road in this thing, but once you get a bit of familiarity, it's actually quite good. The tyres are incredibly skinny, they're only 175s, but they're not really trying to harness a great deal of inertia. I do like playing with the gearbox, but again, the gearbox isn't accessing a great deal of firepower, so it's more about amusing yourself more than any sort of traffic light Grand Prix or anything like that. Functionally, this is excellent in context. So this is designed as a city car, and being a Fiat, it's Italian in origins, little roads and little, tight spaces that you have to maneuver around, and this has excellent turning circle, and it's got a little city button down here that you can press, and the steering gets even lighter. You can just basically flick it around, breathe on it, and it'll go exactly where you want to go. And parking it is just phenomenally good, unbelievably simple. You just think it and you're in there. When you take it out of context, that's when it starts making less sense. Like on the highway, it's not exactly a confident or comfortable cruiser. I mean, it doesn't have cruise control either, which is, I guess, a big cross against it. But when you take it out of context, that's when it starts making less sense. Like on the highway, it's not exactly a confident or comfortable cruiser. I mean, it doesn't have cruise control either, which is, I guess, a big cross against it. But as a city car, it's fantastic. Small, manoeuvrable, fairly fuel efficient, and I like this one. Like you can go. There's a few other engine choices available. There's a .895 turbo petrol 2-cylinder. There's the multi-air. Now, there's also a turbo diesel as well. But personally, one, I don't like diesels, and two, if you're buying a little car like this, I would prefer something that has very low maintenance costs, because I mean, that's why you're buying a pop to start with. You're buying the bottom of the line, and you're doing it to save money. So personally, I would buy a non-turboed something or other if you're going to go for a little city car. And this one gets around the city fine, just like this.